Hello everyone, this is J Coder back with another stream. It's been a while, but today we're going to be going over Gemini and Android Studio. Basically, it used to be the studio bot that was an assistant to help developers code in their project. So they came out with some updates and it's now new and improved. I tested this before on the channel, but I want to go ahead and test this new one out today. And so, without any further ado, let's get started. And so, I'm here on the Gemini and Android Studio page. And so I'm going to read what it says here. Gemini in Android Studio is your coding companion for Android development. It's powered by artificial intelligence and can understand natural language. It helps you be more productive by answering your Android development queries. Gemini can help Android developers generate code, find relevant resources, learn best practices, and save time. Be mindful that Gemini might sometimes provide inaccurate, misleading, or false information while presenting it confidently. Gemini might give you working code that doesn't produce the expected output or provide you with code that is not optimal or incomplete. Always double check Gemini's responses and carefully test and review code for errors, bugs, and vulnerabilities before relying on it. Gemini's new capabilities can help you by offering new ways to write, create, test cases, or update APIs. So they have a lot of disclaimer there that it's pretty much, and it's still this kind of technology can have the wrong answers. So they pretty much want people to just be warned of that. But despite that, I believe it's going to be very helpful. And let's see what it can do. I'm going to test a little bit today for you guys here on this live stream. And so, basically, let's see. It says download the latest Canary version of Android Studio. So to download the latest version of the Canary, you have to go to this link and it opens this download, and you would go ahead and download that. So I already did that. And so once you download that, you can open it. And so I have I have the Android Studio open right now. And here is my new project screen. I'm going to go ahead and do a new project. And then I'm going to go ahead and open an empty project. And this is going to be my testing Gemini and Studio. So I can say that for our testing project. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just hit finish on that. And right now it's loading up a project, a sample project. And so while it's loading that up, I'm gonna show you guys the next step. So after you download the Android Studio, it says to launch Gemini, open or start an Android Studio project, which we have done so far, and then go to View, Tool Windows, Gemini. And so let's go ahead and do that. So here we'll go ahead and go to File, and then after that it says, or it actually says, go to View, and then Tool Windows, and then we're going to go to Gemini. Alright, and I've been doing some testing before this video, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Clear History. And so, also, if you are accessing this for the first time, it's going to require you to log in and also accept some term agreements. And right now, it's completely free to use this. They don't charge you any usage charges as of now, at the recording of this video. And so, alright, so we have our project here, and we have Gemini here that ready to assist us. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little test. So I'm going to open my project files here. So we have our main activity there, and basically our main activity is here with a sample greeting, and I'm gonna go ahead and be running this app so that we can be able to see it in action as well. And while that is running, let me go ahead and see if we can't have Gemini do something for us. So I want to say, so what I want to have it to do is I want to have it make a composable for us, and in this composable it's going to loop through 100 integers and display each integer to the screen via composable. And by the way, what it displays so far is this. This is what the test applications display so far, which is Hello Android. And so now I'm going to have our Gemini assistant build for us another composable that will display integers between 1 and 100. It will loop through them and display them. And so let me go ahead and instruct it to make us that. So I'm going to say, can you make a composable, or I'm going to phrase it like this. Can you make code that loops through from 1 to 100 and displays each digit on the screen with a composable. So does that make sense? So it says, can you make code that loops from 1 to 100 and displays each digit on the screen with a composable? I'll say, and should I say in a composable or using a composable? I'll say using a composable, because composables are the thing that is used in Jetpack Compose, which is a popular framework that is used in Android to display to the UI nowadays. So let's go ahead and do that and hit submit. Okay, so it says, certainly here's how you can display the numbers from 1 to 100 on the screen using Compose. I'm sorry, but I can't help you with this. Okay, so right here on the live stream, it is doing some kind of glitch. Let me go ahead and try that again and see if it will change its mind about helping me with that. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the history. I'm going to go ahead and try that again. Then I'm going to hit submit. Alright, let's rephrase my question in a different way. And I'm going to say, can you, so let me rephrase it. Let's say, can you make me a composable that loops 1 through 100, displaying each digit to the screen. And so I'm saying that like this now. Can you make a composable that loops 1 through 100, displaying each digit to the screen? So I'm going to go ahead and try that. Alright, so it is happy to do that for me. I guess it didn't like saying make code for me. And so if you basically say make a composable, for some reason it actually goes through and does it for you. So with these things, it looks like you'll have to play with your wording a bit so that the bot can do what you want. Sometimes, these things can act like they don't know what you're saying, or have some kind of weird filter based on keywords. But anyway, let's continue. And so I want to put this composable in my code. So basically it says they have this feature where you can explore it in Playground. I'm not going to hit it during this live stream, but basically what that does is makes a new window, and it's going to be separate from your project code, and you can pretty much test the code inside like a separate Playground area. And this one's insert new Kotlin file. So in this one, it will generate a new file with the above code, and this one is insert at cursor. So basically you can put your cursor somewhere inside your code file, and then hit that button and it will insert the above code. And or you can copy the code, which will go to your clipboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this composable inside my main file, and then I'm going to hit insert, and then there it is. So this is my thing I imagined up to loop through 1 through 100, displaying each digit to the screen using a composable. So with the code here, it has the correct syntax. I don't have to go Google search like the correct syntax for the lazy column and the item syntax and the index to arrow syntax, and then a text, and then inside the text, this code to loop through each of the 100. And and this isn't really like a traditional kind of like for loop, but this is more of a composable kind of syntax to properly loop through each of the 100. So let's go ahead and test this and see what happens. So in order to use the composable, I'll need to call it after the greeting composable, which the greeting composable already has a greeting on there. So after that, I will need to simply put the number list there, and then let's go ahead and test that out and see how that does. So it will just take a moment for that to come up. Okay, so basically it went ahead, it did that for us, and so it went ahead and displayed 1 through 100 on the screen here, and seeing if it will allow for me to scroll to swipe on that. Let me see. Yeah, it probably needs some additional formatting to make it look right, but that shows the power of the assistant to be able to quickly make up something based on written text, and then go ahead and display it to the screen. And then, I got this up and running just by typing a couple sentences, generated that code to do the thing I wanted to do, and it displays it on the screen here. And so even if I want to go ahead and do that and replay it so that it doesn't look strange with the hello Android there. So I commented out that code that displays the hello Android, and then it went ahead and displayed the 1 through, so 1 through 100. And the thing is, here it does display it on the actual pointer bar, so I would need to add some spacing there to actually have it to display right. But that's not the point of this video. It's just to use the Gemini to help us to hurry up and get something going. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to show you guys today. And so, and of course you can work with Gemini, and you can play around with this to have it formatted to your liking, of course. And so I'm going to go through some of the other things it says on this page, and then we're going to wrap up. And so you can test it with different things, like how do I add camera support to my app, and I want to create a room database, and it will walk you through how to create a room database. Can you remind me of the format for Java docs, and it will help you with that, and so on and so forth. And so, like, it says what is the best way to get location on Android. And so, with that, it will actually uh, make the code for you to be able to get the location. And so, basically, you guys can take a look at these do's and don'ts on how to talk to Gemini. So it says, be specific. There are certain libraries, APIs, or approaches that you'd like to use. Include them in your question. And so it says, like, how do I add camera support to my app using Camera X instead of just how do I add camera support? And things like, give me the main.activity file for an app with a login screen, instead of how do I create an app with a login that supports multiple user profiles. And so you can be more specific and say, can you add a class that represents a user profile? Can you add code that supports multiple user profiles? So usually the more specific you are, the more better the results may be when using this. And so tips are: be clear and concise when you ask your question. Use simple language that Gemini can understand. And if Gemini does not understand your questions, try rephrasing it, which you guys saw that earlier in the video. And review Gemini suggestions before using them. And yeah, so I encourage you guys to go ahead and take a look at this feature and try this feature, and I hope that it will help you when building your Android apps. And so yeah, AI technology is really picking up these days. And so yeah, well, subscribe to my channel, like and comment on this video, and until next time, always stay coding. Peace.